last minute shakeup at 5:30 a.m., laundry situation not good. And when your focus is on helping your clients, it's easy to forget about yourself. But NASM knows trainers.
Morning, Ryan. Is okay.
And staying in front of the day isn't always as simple as 1, 2, 3. So when the unexpected has you pressing pause,
what's the latest on creatine?
I'm going to get back to you on that.
Let NASM1 help you press play. Visit NASM.org to sign up for a membership today.
Welcome to this week's Master Instructor Roundtable. I am Wendy Batts here with my co-host and friend, Dr. Marty Miller. Marty, how are you?
Wendy, I'm great. Looking forward to the holidays. I see you've got the Christmas spirit on. I apologize. If I would have known, I would have, put a Santa hat on, Grinch, something, would have tried to.
I'm telling you, I am ready for I'm not ready for the holidays, but I'm ready for the holidays, if that makes any sense, meaning I cannot believe it's right around the corner. I was looking at the calendar, like I have a lot of stuff I've got to get done, but love this time of year. And, one of the things, Marty, that I often do myself is I really want to give a thank you to my clients, the ones that have been with me. They're like almost like my family. And even though there's no expectation of any of that, there's still part of me that just wants to give them something to let them know that I appreciate them. They spend a lot of money each and every year. I mean, again, we're on their fitness journey together, and it can be really, really stressful. So I was excited when we do this almost every year, talk about the latest and greatest that are out there. But just want you to know, if you are like me and you're thinking, okay, what can I do for my clients? We've got some good suggestions, hopefully, for everyone. And
and I'll go a step further for your clients, but even though I'm in the industry, I don't have clients. I'm more on the business side of things, but my family tend to find something in their gifts at some point that has a spin of health, right? Because one, I get to see what's the best, the latest, the greatest out there. I can use these discounts to my advantage, but they know me as the health, fitness, wellness guy. So why would I not want to give them something that, can hopefully guide them into a healthier lifestyle?
100%. And today, if you guys didn't get a chance to listen to some of our podcasts that Marty and I have done this past year, we're going to be talking about a lot of the products that you can find on your NASM Pro account. But we've been honored to have multiple people that have either started companies or started some of these products, or have told the story of how these products came about and they're working with this particular company. Join us. If you want to dive deeper in each and everything that we have on our list today, we have options for you, and you should definitely go back and listen to them, because I learned so much about these products, Marty, that I didn't know until we had them on. And so I was super grateful that you made a lot of those connections for us, and that they took the time to be a part of our time and engage the NASM family. So I want to say thank you to them again.
Yeah. So as we move forward here, we're going to talk about, like I said, is there a perfect gift? Don't overstress about it. Know your budget. But that's why, as an NASM professional, if you use the pro discounts, which I don't think a lot of people truly utilize, right? You can stay within that budget. And then giving these gifts for clients and friends. Wendy talks about her clients, but in my space, I don't have clients. So these are perfect ideas for friends and or loved ones. Or maybe if you get a little, cash in your stocking, maybe you buy yourself something that you've been eyeballing.
Or you could do what I did. There was something I really wanted, so I bought it and I had it shipped to my house, told my husband, and that way he can wrap it so my little guy doesn't think I bought it.
There's that too, Wendy. There is that too.
Well, sometimes you just take the initiative to help someone out that might be struggling. So when we talk about, it's the thought that counts, Marty, there's so much to be said with that. I know if like a handwritten letter, like that really means a lot. And if someone does something special to my kid, you better believe we do a thank you note, and he takes the time. And it could be something as simple as $1. It may cost me more to buy the card and send it, but it's really that we want them to know how appreciative we are for them taking the time out to do something for us, whether it's him, myself, my husband's the same way. So when you're thinking about a gift, it's really about just putting some thought into it. It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be the gift, but it's really about the meaning more than just the material value. And I sometimes get caught up in that because I work with some very, very successful individuals that have way more money than I can ever dream of. And so I'm like, what can I get someone that has everything? And, it took someone to say, listen, it's the thought that you put behind it. It's the thought that you even wanted to consider getting them something as a thank you for the year. That means more than anything, not necessarily what the actual gift is. So, think about some of the experiences and conversations if you're dealing with a client. Same thing with your family members. I have some family members that I'm like, I don't even know what to get them, but I listen to what people are saying, being an active listener, that is, Marty. And I think that I can get some good ideas. But just remember, sometimes experiences are better than anything, and they're going to have a longer lasting impact because you're making memories. So even if you personalize something that they said, if they have a nickname, you do something that's cute. I got some clients golf balls once, and there was a specific nickname we put on the golf balls because I've learned, do not put first and last name on personalized golf balls, because when they get lost and someone finds it, then they have their name on there and realize it was a terrible shot. Just letting you know. But like I said, sometimes just even a thank you note, a handwritten thing can be enough.
No, that's true. And again, going back with the concept that I came in with is, if you're dealing with your family and your friends and you're the expert, you're going to find them something that they wouldn't get themselves anyways, right? Because that's not their area of expertise. So this kind of makes it easier for you.
Well, we hope so. That's the goal anyway. This is how I feel sometimes around this time of year when I'm trying to think about what am I going to do? How much time do I have left? And where do I buy whatever it is I need to find? But just don't overthink it. And I am the worst, Marty. You know this. I'm very type A. You guys should know this by now, but I'm very type A. And so I really want to overthink things that should be easy. So trust your instincts. If you know that somebody likes something and it's really, you're like, well, you know what? It's the thought that counts. Just make sure that when you're thinking about it, just go with your first initial thought. What is it like? When I think of Marty, there's certain things that pop into my head because I talked to him super early in the morning. I know things that he would be appreciative of because of what he does every single day, but just the effort. Again, it doesn't have to be about the item, but if you put forth the effort, and the most important thing, stay within your budget. I mean, think about, and Marty, we talk about this with education, think ahead about your education and start planning. Well, the same thing. How many clients do you have? Do you want to provide them something at the end of the year because they've been with you? Maybe it's the ones that have been with you just for a certain amount of time. And at that point, make a budget and don't go past the budget. Don't overspend. And that's the beauty of what we're going to talk about next, because some of you guys might not realize, even though we have these individuals on, you can get a substantial discount just because you're part of the NASM family.
Yep. No question. Make sure you use it. Prana. So we'll start here. It's a great clothing line. It's, something that's predominantly throughout my closet. I love the pants, like the athleisure type pants. They make great high quality, like workout shirts, yoga shirts, and they make way more than that, clothes, hats, gloves, all good stuff. But I've been wearing Prana probably now for 7 years since NASM. Remember, it used to be part of our uniform. They would give us the pants. I love them. And being in Florida, you can get some that are really lightweight. So if you have to be in, something outside during the dead of summer, at least it feels like it's breathable, and they last. The product lasts tremendously, because I used to wear them 5-6 days a week when I was at the country clubs. They looked the part, and I put them through their paces. So I'm a huge fan of Prana.
Yes. And, if you're not sure about sizes, because if you guys listen to some of the other podcasts that I do with Random Fit and Ken Miller, I mean, sizes can be tricky, but that's where you can buy fun things, like get them a little beanie, a hat. Women love that kind of stuff. Men do too. You can get gloves, scarves. So it doesn't have to be just about like shirts and pants. Think about what are some of the things that you you can give your clients, they'll be appreciative of, they can have forever. They don't outgrow. But Prana does have some cute stuff. There's definitely a lot of options out there or in there for you to look through. And then also shop for yourself. I just bought a super cute sweater, if anyone cares, that I'm going to be able to wear on Christmas Day from this company because I loved it. And it's Christmas colors.
So, Wendy, did you want to go over Garmin?
Yeah, if we go back one too, and we think about Garmin, we partnered with, and I actually wear a Garmin watch. I like big chunky watches. They do have some that are smaller, some, I wanted the big face because, I like big chunky watches, and they have all different types of bands. They're very interchangeable. But the thing is I wanted to wear something other than, I do have an Oura ring, which we'll talk about as well, but I didn't want to have all these other bands all over me. I wanted something where I could track my sleep. I wanted to be able to, get credit for any time I was walking or playing tennis and stuff. So there's a bunch of different activities that you can set. You can have a quote trainer on your watch that pushes you. You can run your music through it. There's so many different things that you can do on the Garmin watch, especially. It is a little more expensive, obviously, than some other gifts because you are going to spend some money. But I got my husband a Garmin last year, and my son wears a Garmin. It's fun because we can kind of compete with each other. But again, you want to think, what is it that you need? There's a lot of there's some that are more expensive because it does everything. And if you want some of the basics, then obviously they have good base prices. But regardless, because of the NASM connection and discounts and partnerships that we have, we get a 35% off discount.
Yeah, you can't beat that. I've never owned a Garmin because I'm more the Apple guy, but I know so many people that are elite triathletes and runners. They swear by them, and I know it's an amazing product.
Well, and as a trainer, I will say this. I actually am hooked up to some of my other clients' Garmin so I can see their activity. And so especially when you're working, if you work with professional athletes, sometimes you want to see what they're doing throughout the day, what their quote body battery is, like meaning how well did they sleep in comparison to what they burned for the day. So there's a lot of great data that can be shared with if they're willing to connect that information with you. So it's also not really just about yourself, but if you have clients that have a Garmin, maybe look into that if you didn't know that was a thing.
There you go. All right. So now this next one, stick mobility. I just got mine in. I gave one to my son. I guess I should have waited and wrapped it and give it to him for Christmas, but oh well. So I have a 3-pack. I have the 2 long sticks and one of the shorter ones. And Wendy, I do my correctives. I do my mobility. I am in love with these. It's a tool that allows you to flex and use leverage in the stick to gain extra range of motion and also strengthen in your end range of motion. There's some other standard mobility things that you can see that you have done with, a piece of wood or et cetera. But the fact that they have the flex in them allows you to definitely drive into greater ranges of motion. And as I said, you get to strengthen at the same time. And they have great content, a great app that really gives you probably hundreds of different stretches. I have my 6 or 8 that I do every day. And then I experiment as I'm looking for, if I'm looking for hip or low back or something like that. But they are absolutely a staple in my repertoire and in my daily practice now. And what better than 20% off? So they're great for a client. They're not that expensive. And it's kind of a hint, I'm buying you this because you need to do your mobility.
Oh, 100%. And we have had mobility sticks since the day they came out. And we were very grateful to have been kind of on the forefront when they started to launch these. I'm like, oh yes. And of course they're bright orange. So me being a Tennessee fan, I'm like, these have to be in my little area because it goes with some of my decor in my basement. But I will say too, Marty, if you guys have never tried the stick mobility, meaning using them as a tool, there are so many things on the strength side that you can do with them. And if hopefully you are following NASM Fitness on Instagram, we actually just launched a post utilizing the stick mobility partnership. They had this individual named Chad come in, and he's one of their master instructors. And he did some of these stretches and exercises that we had tried together. And I'm like, man, you forget sometimes how hard some of this stuff can be, especially when you're doing some of the strength side of it, and you're not just using it as a mobility tool itself.
Yep, no question. And then moving into the recovery, Hyper Ice, I think everybody knows that brand. Started off with a product that, allowed an application of ice, and then they moved into the whole recovery space. So they own Normatec, so the compression boots. They have different massage guns, vibration. They have like a therm or a cube that heats up. They have the Viper and the Venom for different body parts that heats up and vibrates. And my soon-to-be daughter-in-law is 9.5 months pregnant. So little baby girl could be popping up any day now. And I gave her the Venom for her low back, and she swears by it. Like, she's still in pain, of course, but just getting that comfort and just getting that little bit of heat and vibration has made a big difference in the later stages of pregnancy.
Well, and if you guys are also looking for, a good gift idea, Hyper Ice came out, I think it was either the beginning of the year or maybe the end of last year. They came out with this heated head, and it is like the best thing ever. And I don't push a lot of products, but I do use it with all of my clients. I've taken the other bits off, and if you're using the Hypervolt or even the Go, it fits on both. And you can set it up to 3 different settings, and just having that heat with the vibration that I can put everywhere, it is phenomenal. Clients love it. A lot of purchases have been made for that one particular thing, and just something to think about. Again, not pushing anything, but if who doesn't love heat, especially at night? I'm all about it.
There you
I'm
go.
always cold, Marty. I love it.
Yes, indeed. I remember that. So as we move forward here, Wendy, before we get into the next one, I want to talk about something exciting. That this episode of the Master Instructor Roundtable is brought to you by NASM One, the membership for trainers and coaches. Members enjoy unlimited access to hundreds of career resources. Get the Edge app to schedule and program clients. Enjoy half off all certifications and specializations, access free CEUs and more. All this for just $35 a month. Go to nasm.org/membership to learn more about NASM One. So now, yes, Wendy, I'm going to pass this one over to you for the Oura Ring. I had one for a short period of time. I enjoyed it, but I was using a different device. So I'll let you talk about Oura, and then I'll cover Therabody.
Yeah, so if you guys get an Oura Ring, it's kind of neat because you can kind of choose the design that you want. Obviously, they have some that's like gunmetal, that's kind of matte. They have black. They have I always have the silver, or not always, but I do have the silver one. They have rose gold, and they have gold. So you can choose the type of material that you want, and then you can choose kind of the shape that you like as well. And then, if you wear this device, you're going to download an app. And the app itself will tell you your readiness, tells you your sleep, your activity. For females, it'll even go and track your menstrual cycle of what's happening throughout the month. So you can forewarn your husband what's getting ready to happen if you're not sure, or he can just check out your app. But it's actually very interesting because, for example, it'll send me messages on my watch, my phone, whatever, and says, it's approaching your bedtime. Now's the time for you to go to sleep. And it's like 7:30 at night because it's telling me I need more rest. But it's interesting because when you look at the data and you're really, obviously technology and being able to know what your resting heart rate is, knowing where your oxygen levels are, knowing how well you're sleeping at night, how much you're moving throughout the day. It tracks all of this information, and, it's key. And it's one of those things that at the end of each quarter, it provides you a quarterly read as well. So it'll be like, hey, over the last quarter, you walked, the equivalent of so-and-so many, or ran so-and-so many marathons, or walked so many miles, or slept this amount, and these are your highest achievements, and here's where you're struggling. So it's actually pretty cool because I like the annual reports, yes, but if I can have quarterly reports along the way, it kind of lets me know where I'm thriving and where I'm not. And so it is expensive. So I will throw that out there. It's not cheap to buy one. And you do have a monthly fee. However, the 13% off discount, if it's something that you really want. Like I said, I don't like to wear the bands and all the things like around my arms. Just having a ring, I love that part of it. Easy to charge. It tells you when you need to charge it. But it's also really good for me to see improvements or not.
Love it.
And then I compare the two, by the way.
So now we'll jump into Therabody. So we know recovery is here to stay. You could also, I like to say maybe rejuvenation, regeneration, because recovery, is part of it. But sometimes, you've recovered, but you can use these tools to activate before you even get into your workout. We cover all that with NASM. So obviously, Therabody is known for a couple key products like their Theragun. They have one now with red light laser. It has different settings, different heads. They have a hot and cold head as well. So that's something you can utilize. They've got their jet boots, so you can get the compression. And there's so many other cool products. They're always innovating, but they also have almost like a medical spa line. They have the TheraFace Pro, where it has different attachments for a lot of different features, as well as the TheraFace mask, so the red light therapy. So, you can't beat it. 20% off. It's a great product. I use it every single day, and I swear by them. So, check them out and make sure that you've got some type of recovery tool in your repertoire for sure.
And if you guys didn't get a chance to check out, and I know we're going to keep talking about previous podcasts, but Dr. Jason is the founder and CEO of Therabody, and just his story of why he even started the Theragun or came out with the Theragun, I think is a phenomenal story. He's really fun to listen to. So if you didn't get a chance to check that out, you should. But again, I love Therabody. I love Hyperice. The beauty of it is we are partnered with both. So if you have one preference over another, or maybe there's one company that a little bit more about than another, that now's a good time to kind of try them both. But just remember, you do get a great discount off of both.
Wendy, do you want to cover the first one? I'll cover Stroops.
Absolutely. But, this week on the Master Instructor Roundtable, we are live with Wendy Batts and Marty Miller, and we are talking about some gift ideas, thinking about the holidays being right around the corner. Don't forget that as an NASM certified personal trainer and being a part of the NASM family, you guys get significant discounts. And all you have to do is go to nasm.org, log into your account, look under resources. You're going to see your pro account. And if you go in there, you're going to see all of these different, and there's a ton more. We're only just choosing some, but there are a ton of different options in there, and it'll show you exactly what our partners are, what kind of discounts you get. So just be sure to log on to your page. But yeah, Marty, Element. So many people talk about Element, and especially when you're thinking about electrolytes. Ken Miller and I, once again, did a podcast just recently on electrolytes and talking about the importance of what happens when you become dehydrated. And often people will go and just grab a Gatorade or a Powerade or some of these other electrolyte drinks, but they're high in sugar. And so the beautiful thing about Element is when you're going, it's a little packet. They're different flavors. You can put them in your coffee. You can put them in your water. There's some for cold coffee. So you just want to look at the different options and where you put these, but you just put it in your drink. You'll shake it out or shake it up, and you can take it with you. So if you know that you're a sweater, you know that you're going to be working hard, and you know that, especially if you're going to be going on flights, there's certain times of times in your life where you're going to be more dehydrated than others. You want to go ahead and take something like this. Element, like I said, there's a bunch of different flavors. I love some I don't like. My husband likes the ones I don't like. It's kind of weird. So we have a lot of different flavors running around this house. But even my 8-year-old, when he's out playing baseball, and especially in the summer, we put a little bit of Element in his drink as well, and he loves it. Yeah,
I'm gonna have to try that. That's not one I've tried before. So
it is salty. So here's the thing: Element is has that salty thing. So if you're a salt kind of person, I'm a sweet person. But if you're a salt person, this is all for you.
Gotcha. Great stuff. So now moving into Stroops. This is a product I know very well. My gym is littered with it. Who doesn't love good resistance bands, right? A nice progressive resistance. It's a different application of force. But what I love about Stroops is they were the leader in really encasing the band inside the elastic or the fabric. So that way they're more durable. They're cleaner, in my opinion. And then they have the reduced chance of injury if they were to snap. But I've had these bands for years, and I have not had a failure. I'm not going to say they couldn't, but I know the owner very well, Sean. I've talked to him multiple times. His innovation is amazing. He's always coming out with new products. Now they've moved into other things outside of resistance bands. They have the attachments. They have different things you can attach to the bands, battle ropes, but now they have plyo boxes, cardio equipment. They have 2 different treadmills, a curved non-motorized and a flat non-motorized, which is very unique. So can't tell you enough good things about Stroops. Get a 20% off discount, and every single one of you are using bands every day, and every single one of your clients should have them for their home gym and their corrective exercises. No question.
And I think that is a great holiday gift, because
and the bright orange, Wendy.
I mean, especially, well, yeah, they're orange. They're bright orange. I mean, what is better than that? But the thing is especially for your clients to travel, when you're thinking about something that's cost effective, something they can use, that's going to help them on their fitness journey. If you're thinking, well, what can I get them? Look into that. And if it's within your budget, that is a great gift, because then there's no getting out of working out on the road, because you provided them with some stuff that they can do, and you're giving them the actual equipment that they need to make that happen. So definitely something to look into. Stroops has come a very long way, and I'm super stoked that they're as doing so well, for sure.
You want to take TRX, Wendy?
Well, TRX, I mean, we're just thinking, okay, everybody that loves suspension training, here you go. I had a client come to me and said, well, I would love to be able to use a TRX, but I don't have a place to anchor it, because most people think you need to anchor it off of a bar because they go to a gym, right? So that you need to put something in your ceiling. And that's not the case. I don't have that. However, I have a door anchor. So if you have a door, you can use a TRX. And it is way harder than it looks. If you guys have not used any type of suspension training, TRX has been a partner with us for a really long time. They, again, have a ton of different videos of things on how do you set it up, where do the handles go, it needs to go throughout your mid calf. Here's a video to make that happen. And this is exactly how you do it. So again, there's some great products when you're looking at what are things that people can do, what's easy to travel with. And so TRX suspension training, that one's easy.
Yeah. And we had this new CEO and owner, Jack Daly, on a podcast.
Yes.
And then as we transition into .fit, many of you know that .fit is owned by Neil Spruce, who was the owner of NASM as you know it today. He sold it years ago. So .fit was kind of a sister company to NASM for a long time, and they're very close partners still to this day. And just like Neil wanted to make sure that NASM had an evidence-based approach to fitness, guess what? The supplement company is third-party tested. So what's on the bottle is in the bottle. So it's not just him telling you what's in the bottle. It's somebody else, a third party, testing the products. And that's a very time-intensive and cost-intensive process. But that way, what you're putting in your body is exactly what you need. It's evidence-based approach, and it's also NSF certified. So if you're an athlete and you're participating in sports where you could get drug tested, all the NSF certified supplements, that you are going to have only what's in that bottle. There's no cross-contamination or nothing that could have you test positive if you are that type of athlete. And look at that whopping 40% discount. So, when you look at your clients, most of them need to be on the all-in-one super blend or creatine or the brain health or the omega or fill in the blank. So this is a wonderful opportunity for you to save money for yourself and get your clients on the proper nutritional supplementation.
I know. I love that 40% off. I was like, Neil, is this for real? He's like, absolutely. And again, he loves us. So, and I say us, meaning NASM, he loves Marty and I too, but, but because again, this was his baby to start with, this was, that was an easy one. So 40% off was very, very,
very generous,
very giving on his part. You want to talk about Encore?
Yeah. So this is a company that I found this year, and there's one anchored to my wall in my gym. So Anchor is an amazing company. It's a portable, if you want it to be, cable system. And what do you know? We had Isaac Lewis on one of our podcasts, who was one of the founders. Very cool story. He got injured playing baseball. And during his rehab, he realized that, he couldn't take a cable system back to his dorm room. And what do you know? Met the right friend, and they designed this, and now it's in every NHL locker room as a mandatory. So it's real cool. I have a track that it can go on in my gym, but you can take it off that track, and then there's a Velcro. So in my backyard, we're going to build a outdoor gym with the right types of trees and stuff to put my anchor and my TRX out there. So during this beautiful weather right now in South Florida, I can take these two pieces of equipment either on the road like you might, Wendy, or just take them outside. And now I've got another part of my house that becomes a gym.
Well, and I think that was the big thing. I travel with mine, so I have an anchor as well. And Marty, you did a Instagram post utilizing it on the tennis courts, or I think it was pickleball.
Pickleball.
I'm gonna still say tennis, but regardless, it's one of those things where I'm like, well, I work a lot with different teams, and there's certain exercises on the corrective standpoint when I'm trying to activate muscles that I need to make sure it happens. So I'm going to get better results, right? And so having this portable cable, and when I say it's portable, it really, I got a case, but I mean, it doesn't have to be a case, but you literally can put it in your suitcase, and the little bitty weights to make it heavier are easy to pack and travel too. So it really is a very small unit, but it gives you exactly what you need and what you would think in a pulley system. So love it. Love it. And Marty, when you were the one to introduce me to Isaac, and I was like, this thing is incredible, and literally have traveled with it and used it, and super big fan for sure. Now it is expensive, but again, 10% off. I mean, it's one of those things about investing in your health and, making sure that the clients that can't afford, or not can't afford, but don't have the space. That's my thing. I wanted a cable in my house. I just didn't have the space for some of them because of my
that's
wife.
Where when we say expensive in comparison to what, if I used to work for Techno Gym, right? If I wanted to get a cable system, you're starting at $6,000-$7,000 minimum.
Well,
right. And it's going to take up the whole gym, the weight of it. I think this starts at like $699. So it's a more expensive product than something else, but to actually now in my home gym have the ability to do some of the traditional exercises like a tricep extension or, different
squat row,
right, and all that kind of stuff. It's amazing. Yeah, I can do all my correctives with it, but now I have a pulley system that takes up no space. Mm-hmm. It's fabulous. So,
well, yeah. And again, we just actually highlighted Anchor on Instagram this week. So I'm like, look at us. There's a reason that we're using this stuff, guys, because it's one of those things where I have clients now that are interested because they were like me. They have a gym in their basement, and with drop ceilings, sometimes they're not a specific height. And I'm a huge fan of particular pieces of equipment, but they're just higher. So if you put the arms up, if they're adjustable arms and stuff, it was not going to work in my home and or some of my clients' homes. And so just having this, and or if you're working outdoors, and you can put it around like a thick branch and do different things. If you're doing boot camps, it's actually really cool. And that portability thing is money.
Right. Yeah. And then transition to the next one, Blaze Pod. Guess what I have in my gym? The Blaze Pods. Because one, yes, you need speed, agility, quickness, but you want something that's fun, and you want something that also can be a cognitive challenge, right? Whether it's my mom who's in her mid-70s sitting at a table just doing them with her hand. I don't expect for her to move around. Just getting that that cognitive neural reaction response is so beneficial. But we had the family over, and we were doing the plank challenge where it's like, how many touches can you get in the 30 seconds or a minute? And people kept going, and I can do it better, I can keep going. So if you want people to add volume to their training, something with these reactionary lights is amazing. We did a podcast with Coach Cummings, MC, and they're offering a 25% discount, which is phenomenal.
Oh, 100%. And the good thing about this, especially if you have kids or you're training kids or you're going to be working with groups, it does, it's great for seniors, especially when you're thinking on the cognitive side. If there's individuals that may have dementia, it's good to get them thinking and really working on that. If they're worried about falling and you're trying to help them with different patterning, you can slow down the lights, you can speed it up. So on a senior standpoint, there's so many great benefits on that. But then think about the youth. There's so much energy. They want to be explosive. They want to be able to do things, but you need to teach them to move in all different planes of motion. Kids love to be competitive, having the lights. It's just fun. And it's one of those things where, again, I started using just this year, and I can see how many things I can do, especially because we coach some baseball kids, just how awesome it can be, and just makes it different. It's a different, fun form of training.
Yep. It's so much fun. Yeah. So Wendy, you talked about it as some key takeaways. You mentioned this here at the beginning. Any gift is a nice gesture, right? It could just be a handwritten card, but these are some ideas of things that really they'll remember you because you're their fitness expert in their life. So why not look at these? These discounts are offered to you. You know, it'd be foolish in a sense to look around and not take advantage of these. It helps you stay within your budget, right? And then that's the part of being with NASM. Not only do you have the best education, we try to put out more content with all our podcasts and on Instagram, but we're also leaning in, trying to get you the best discounts with the best companies possible.
100%. And if you're not sure about some of the ones that we talked about, visit the page. There's a little bit of information about each one, or go back and listen to some of the Master Instructor Roundtables that Marty and I did on these particular products, with, again, some of the best, especially about their topic. And you'll find them entertaining, but also very, you'll learn a lot more about it if you're on the fence of whether you should make that purchase. So as always, guys, if you need to contact me, you can find me at wendy.batts@nasm.org, or you can find me on Instagram at wendy.batts13.
And my information will be right here, dr.martymiller72 for Instagram, and marty.miller@nasm.org if you need to email me. So Wendy, thanks for putting this together. And basically you just went and ransacked my home gym, but you know,
mine too, by the way.
Right? There's a couple other things in there that I need to get to. And also, you know, I know 2025 is going to be a great year. We've got some good content coming up. We've already started to roadmap that. But most importantly, for those of you that have been joining us throughout the year, we can't thank you enough. We've been doing this since, I think, 2020. And we got more great stuff for you coming in 2025. But, you know, get out there, do that holiday shopping early, take advantage of these amazing partners that are willing to extend such nice discounts to you. And as always, if Wendy and I can be of help or you have any ideas, don't hesitate to reach out. So thank you for joining us this week on the Master Instructor Roundtable, and we look forward to seeing you next week.